Now get ready, because the animal world goes even further than you imagine. Did you know that axolotls, in addition to regenerating limbs, can recreate complex tissues without forming scars? This intrigues scientists to this day, as understanding this process can revolutionize human medicine in the future. And the most impressive thing, they don't just regenerate skin or muscles, they can rebuild parts of the heart and even the brain, keeping their functions intact. And octopuses? The more we study them, the more mysterious they become. Their brains are not only in their heads, a large part of their neurons is distributed throughout their tentacles, which means that each arm can act semi-independently. In some experiments, the arms continue to react even when separated from the body, as if they still think on their own. Sharks also hold impressive secrets. Some species never stop swimming, as they need the movement to breathe. And even being feared predators, many of them are extremely sensitive to the environment, capable of detecting tiny electrical fields emitted by other living beings. Now, think about that. There is an animal so resistant that it can survive in space. Tardigrades, also called water bears, withstand extreme temperatures, intense radiation, and even the total absence of water for years. When they enter a state of cryptobiosis, they practically switch off their vital functions and then come back to life as if nothing had happened. And the jellyfish. Some don't have a brain, heart, or bones, and yet they survive perfectly. The so-called immortal jellyfish can reverse its life cycle, returning to the initial stage, which makes it biologically capable of living indefinitely. Elephants continue to surprise. Besides communicating through vibrations, they also demonstrate mourning. When a member of the group dies, they can stay close to the body for days, touching the bones with their trunks, as if they were paying their respects. And the bats? Some not only use echolocation, they can also recognize individuals by the sound of their voice, as if it were a sound signature. What's more, they can remember these sounds for years, maintaining complex social relationships. Now something curious. Penguins not only huddle together to keep warm, they do it in an organized way, like a perfect rotating system, ensuring that everyone survives the extreme cold. Each individual moves slowly, changing positions so that no one is exposed for too long. And the horses, besides recognizing human emotions, they can also remember faces for years. They react differently depending on the facial expression they observed previously. And the bees. They manage to communicate the location of food through a specific dance, indicating direction and distance with incredible precision. This behavior is so advanced that it almost seems like a coded language. Now, let's go deeper. Dolphins have their own names. They use specific sounds to call each other, as if they were individual identifications. And more. They respond when called, showing awareness of identity. And the crows. Their intelligence is comparable to that of small children. They solve complex problems, use tools, and even recognize human faces, being able to hold grudges against people who treated them badly. Now imagine that. There are animals that can survive without sleeping in the same way we do. Some enter alternative states of rest, keeping part of the brain active while the other rests. And others manage to slow down their own metabolism to save energy for long periods, surviving in environments where there is almost no food. Now, something impressive. Bioluminescence is not just beauty, it's strategy. Some animals use light to deceive prey, others to defend themselves, and some to attract partners. In certain regions of the ocean, the darkness is total, and the light of living beings is the only existing illumination. At the bottom of the ocean, there are creatures that have never seen the sunlight. Some have giant eyes, Others don't even have eyes. And many of these species haven't even been cataloged by science. And the most impressive thing, we still only know a small part of what lives there. Now, think about that. A fish with a transparent head really exists. And inside it, you can see its eyes moving. And there are creatures with teeth that look like glass, and others that produce blue, green, or even red light, something very rare in nature. Now continuing. Chameleons don't change color just to camouflage themselves. This is also linked to temperature, communication, and emotional state. Rapid color changes can indicate stress, dominance, or even an attempt to attract partners. And the owls, besides flying silently, can turn their heads up to 270 degrees, thanks to a unique adaptation in their bone structure and blood circulation. The lions continue to be fascinating. Even resting most of the time, they maintain a complex social organization with well-defined functions within the group. And the wolves, their communication goes far beyond the howl. They use body expressions, smells, and varied sounds to interact, forming extremely strong social bonds. Now, something that seems simple, but it is not. The otters that hold hands while they sleep do this so they don't get lost in the current. It's survival, but it also seems like affection. And the seahorses remain unique. The male not only carries the young, but also controls the moment of birth, something very rare in the animal kingdom. And the turtles? Their navigation still intrigues scientists. They use the Earth's magnetic field as a kind of natural GPS, returning to the same place where they were born decades later. Now, let's go further. Spider webs are not only strong, some are elastic, others sticky, and each species creates a different type, adapted to its hunting style. And the scorpions that shine under ultraviolet light still raise questions. Nobody knows exactly why, but this may be linked to protection or communication. Some frogs have vibrant colors as a warning. Don't touch me. And they really fulfill this threat, releasing extremely potent toxins. Now imagine animals that change completely during their lives, like the transformation of a caterpillar into a butterfly, one of the most impressive processes in nature, where the body literally reorganizes itself, and starfish that can regenerate an entire body from a single arm, and frogs that literally freeze in the winter and come back to life afterward, as if waking up from a suspended state. Now, think about that. There are microorganisms living inside volcanoes, in eternal ice, and even in highly toxic environments. Life not only exists, it adapts. Now, continuing this journey, crocodiles can live for decades and have remained practically unchanged for millions of years, true survivors of time. Tigers, despite being solitary predators, are extremely strategic and silent, capable of approaching without being detected. Zebras use their stripes not only to confuse predators, but also to regulate temperature and even avoid insects. Polar bears, their skin is black, and their fur is transparent, helping to absorb heat efficiently. And the camels, they can lose a large amount of water without collapsing, being perfectly adapted to the desert. Now, something even more impressive. Parrots can associate words with meanings, demonstrating understanding beyond simple repetition. Monkeys not only use tools, they teach others to use them, transmitting knowledge between generations. And elephants can recognize themselves in the mirror, something rare in the animal kingdom and considered a sign of self-awareness. Now reflect. How many of these behaviors did you imagine existed? And how many haven't we discovered yet? Now let's expand this universe even further. There are insects that perfectly imitate leaves with absurd perfection, disappearing completely into the environment. Fish that change sex throughout their lives to maintain the balance of the species. Birds that perform real choreographies to win over partners. Animals that pretend to be dead and do it with such precision that they fool experienced predators. And others that defend themselves by releasing ink, poison, or even parts of their own body to escape. Now imagine something even bigger. Entire forests still unexplored, oceans with completely unknown regions, and species being discovered every year. Now, think deeply. Each creature, no matter how small, has a function. Each behavior has a purpose, and each discovery reveals only a small part of a gigantic system, and this leads to an inevitable reflection. The planet Earth is not just a place where we live. He is a living, complex, and interconnected system. Now, breathe deeply, because all this is happening now, at this very moment. While you listen to this, an animal may be being born, another may be hunting, and perhaps a new species is being discovered. And while you keep listening, at the bottom of the ocean, a creature may be emitting light for the first time. In a distant forest, a predator may be silently watching its prey. And somewhere on the planet, life is reinventing itself in ways that we still cannot understand. The animal world is not just fascinating. It is vast. It is surprising. And above all, it continues to expand before our eyes. And perhaps the most incredible thing of all is this: we are still just beginning to understand.